is unsupported inventories, and the second one is non-maintenance of an updated fixed asset register. I go to the first issue, which is unsupported inventories. In this case, the unsupported inventories are amounting to Kenya shillings 24,207,586. The client provided to us the stock take sheet, that is a totaling of the stock risk, totaling to that amount. However, we were not able to receive the regular reconciliations for the stock risks. We reconciled to this stock risk during the year.
Excuse me, auditor. Just read the query as it is in the report.
The statement, the query is on, the issue is issue number 1, unsupported inventories. The statement of financial position reflects the inventories balance of pensions 24,207,586 as disclosed in note 20 the financial statements. However, management did not provide the board of survey, stock take report, and the storages to support the balances. In the circumstances, the accuracy of the inventories balance of pensions 24,207,586 could not be confirmed. Thank you.
Governor, you are managing the report.
Chair, thank you. I will respond as follows, Chair. The amount of 24,207,506 represents the inventory balance as of 30th June 2024. The hospital conducted a fiscal stock check at the end of the financial year to reconcile the recorded inventory balances with the actual stock at hand. Supporting documentation, Chair, including the stock tech report, ledgers has been provided to substantiate the reported inventory figures. If you can look at the report Annex 1A, you will see the stock cards, the appointment of stock tech team, 1C also. Actually, the attached stock tech report is 1A, stock cards is 1B, and then the appointment of the stock tech team, Annex 1C. So those are the, so if you see as 1A, you will see the stock tech report at 1A attached. At 1B, Chair, you will find the stock cards, and 1C, Chair, you will see that end of the financial year we did the stock tech, and that is a team that was appointed to do it. Chair.
Auditor, what is your comment on the response?
Our comment is that this information was subsequently provided, and we did not see the regular reconciliations by this team against the risks and the stock generated data, which is supposed to be done on a regular basis. So this was done, what was provided is after the audit and at the end of the year.
Okay, so what is coming out is that the information was provided after the audit. Is that the case, auditor?
Yes.
Chair, even the annexes that the governor is referring us to, you cannot read. Some are completely wrapped, some are, the letters are very small that we cannot read, so we cannot even tell what it is.
Chair, maybe we can provide a clearer list to honorable member.
Chair.
Yes.
But I think, Chair, as the team takes note of what is not legible that Senator Agnes is talking about, I think what we should pursue is why are they providing documents now after the audit?
Chair, I want to pick from where Senator Perry left. Documents during the audit, because I believe, Chair, there is an entry audit meeting, and before you exit, you give them time to supply the documents. And the legal counsel also needs to read the relevant sections on late submissions of documents. Because when you submit after the audit, how sure are we that these are genuine documents?
Chair, allow me to give the hospital accountant to actually elaborate on that issue.
Before the hospital accountant comes in, let me hear from Mark.
Thank you, Chair. My concern maybe as he answers is that the document before us is dated 30th of June 2024. If it was genuinely dated then and done then, why was it not provided at the time of audit, which was done in December, Chair? So that brings into question the authenticity of the documents before us. Are they genuine or are they manufactured for the purpose of appearing before this committee, Chair? Thank you.
Council, before the response, a slight issue on the annexure 1B, the stock card. I'm not able to see any relationship between that annexure and the entity. It's just written stock card and that's it. I can't tell it's a stock card from West Pokot Hospital, then Barrow Hospital. I mean, it's just a plain document. I can pick this from anywhere, Chair, and attach it as my annexure.
Okay, Chair, just very quickly. Auditor, what is the opinion?
It's a qualified opinion.
Okay. You know, Governor, the issuance of documents, there are two things about it. Number one, it first of all affects the certificate that is raised by the auditor. And you often must take them very seriously, because without proper documentation, it's certainly, you're lucky that a qualified opinion is fair enough, but even then, it affects the certificate. But the most important thing here is that there is actually an offense on late or no submission of documents. The Public Audits Act, Section 62, clearly indicates that if you do not submit documents, and I hope the officers are listening here very carefully, there is penalty. It's 5 million, and actually a jail term also. Some of these committees have got the power to actually pronounce itself on it that can lead to prosecution. So it's not an issue of now you have honored the committee by availing documents. You dishonoring auditors and the Auditor General's office is more offensive to that office that you own and the country than you honoring this house. So those two issues should be something that Governor will talk about time without number, that we should see a change on. If the chair is lenient enough not to raise any punishment on less submission of documents.
Yeah, actually, before I allow the legal officer to come in to read the relevant section of law, the governor had requested the accountant to respond. So accountant will respond, and then I will ask the legal officer to read out that section of law on late submission of documents.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I want to respond to say that during the time of audit, we actually provided the stock take reports. I think the issue then was the issue of the formats of the report, but actually the report was there at that time, and we provided on time. Thank you, Chair.
But the auditor is saying you didn't provide at the time of audit. Is that the case, auditor?
Very correct. Indeed, when you have a stock risk, you should have requisite support to indicate, for instance, even the documents which they have put here, the issue of stock take having taken place, the auditors ought to have been invited to come and attend witnessed to do an observation that the stock take is taking place. In this case, the auditors were not invited, and the documents which, when we went for audit, they were not reconciled between the stock take, the system-generated records, and the physical records. So there was no, the conclusion was we were not able to carry out our audit effectively because the documents provided were not in a format that we could be able to make decision on.
And you requested for the proper documents?
Yes, which were not provided during the time of audit.
I think moving forward, the auditor, just as an advice, I think you need to have a checklist of the things, the documents you need from the client. And then when they provide, you sign against it. Because you know, when you come in here, one party saying we provided, another party saying they did not provide. So it becomes very difficult for us to know where the problem is. Mark?
Yeah, maybe Chair, maybe I can bring to the attention of the committee that before the audit we do what is called a letter of understanding. And in that letter we indicate all the documents that we require. That copy can be available just to show that these are some of the documents and records that we required for audit. Secondly, Chair, we also have the entry meeting where we also discuss that letter of understanding, and we indicate to the client the documents that we require. We then have, during the course of audit, these documents will be requested. Even at the exit meeting, there will still be a report indicating that this was not provided. And in addition to that, even as I recall the Auditor General indicated to this committee, there's another opportunity at the draft report where we tell the client, this is a report you're about to submit, what you have to say. And in all those instances, Chair, the documents are not provided. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, I will let the legal officer to read out the provisions in law.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I will begin with Section 9 of the Public Audit Act, that is the general powers of the Auditor General, subsection 1, paragraph E, which means that without prejudice the powers given under the Constitution and this Act, and for the purposes of carrying out his or duties effectively, the Auditor General or an officer authorized for the purposes of this Act shall have powers, paragraph E, of unrestricted access to all books, records, returns, reports, electronic or otherwise, and other documents of entities listed under Article 22904 of the Constitution of the Audit, and any property or premises used or held by state organs or public entities covered by Article 2294 of the Constitution, and subject to the audit under this Act, provided that such access is reasonably necessary in the opinion of the Auditor General in carrying out his or her functions. And then we proceed, Chair, to Section 47 on the time limit for submission of accounts, which reads that...
Auditor, I just want you to go to late submission of accounts. Don't have to read all those.
All right. That is under Section 62, Chair, on the other offenses, where it reads that subsection 1, that is paragraph D, and also paragraph C, which reads that a person shall not, without justification, fail to provide information within reasonable time that is required under this Act, and then and also D, submits false or misleading information. And then the penalty under subsection 2 is that a person who contravenes subsection 1 commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 5 million shillings or to imprisonment to a term for a term not exceeding 3 years or both. Thank you, Chair.
So, can you give the mic to the accountant?
Consists of the following, Chair. You can see the accounts, the account number. The amount is the first account number is 43,000. Second account is 1,185. Third account is 3,970. And the fourth account at 39,519, totaling to 448,174. This amount, Chair, of 43,500 included the cash and cash equivalent figure of 448,174, which relate to the 10% retention monies. These are retention monies withheld in respect to Road Network Limited. A copy of the payment voucher is actually in Annex 1. And the amount was deposited in the Elgeyo Marakwet County Deposit Account held at Central Bank of Kenya and not the Commercial Bank as voucher number, payment voucher, sorry, number UDG 23-03. We confirm that the Tambaji Municipality Chair does not maintain a separate retention bank account. The retention monies of 435 are included in the 101,382,146 held at the Central Bank of Kenya as of 30th June 2024. A copy of the reconciliation statement, cash book, extract retention ledger, bank statement for Elgeyo Marakwet County Deposit Account number 1000240571 held at the Central Bank of Kenya as of 30th June are attached at Annex 2.
Auditor, the comments on the response?
We confirm that we received these documents relating to the account, and that the money is not was not deposited in the KCB account. So these monies was deposited in the Central Bank account of Elgeyo Marakwet County. That is a deposit account, and therefore our concern is, why haven't the municipality opened a retention account relating to the municipality?
So this one as an element of independence also.
Yes.
Okay, Governor, your comments?
Chair, as at this time, this is a new municipality. It has never been there before. Chair, I may admit that some of the operational independence has not been completed fully, and the municipal was still relying on the county government systems. Especially this was a World Bank program, and we didn't want to do things that were not in order, and therefore we relied on the systems of the county. And also, you are aware, Chair, that we have a big problem with the control of budget having us maintaining commercial accounts. We usually want to still stick to central bank accounts, which we hope that the Senate at some point will help us so that we can be able to support us. But I want to say that the operational independence is a work in progress, and it's because, again, we don't have independent funding. Therefore, they were still relying, but we are now starting to divorce them from the county, therefore, to give them operational independence, Chair.
So when do you intend to have this retention account for the municipality?
Chair, we can immediately change this, so that now that we have a new board, we have a new municipal manager, because the previous municipal manager also was not substantive. We now have a very substantive separate together with a new board, which was inaugurated 1.5 months ago. And I can tell you, Chair, we promise that we will start the process of operational independence and even having their own budget in the subsequent budget of 25-26.
Timeline?
Chair, if you give me up at the end of the financial year, Chair.
No, I'm talking about opening of the retention account.
Oh, yes. Chair, that one I can request to be given. In less than a month, Chair. My CC Finance has confirmed to me that he can do it within a month.
Yeah, even immediate. Just opening an account is immediate.
Not a Chair, but you will also protect me when the control of budget will be saying I have more accounts.
The control of budget does not come here, and we have had this issue of municipality a number of times. Okay, because what happens when you are paying when you are paying commercial accounts on people who have done for you supplies and everything? The control of budget therefore requires an invoicing at the point of requisition, isn't it? But on this municipality, it is not an issue of invoicing that will give you a problem, because if you look at, and I want where is the finance, the chief finance? Are you conversant with the requirement of section 169 to 181 on how to structure municipalities' financing? If you're not, just say you're not, because maybe you haven't read it, which is okay, because we can excuse you for today, but go and read what the law gives you as a structure of this, because the only way you can have a conversation with COB is on the basis of law. There's a legal framework very well established on how accounts of a municipality should be able to run in section 169 all the way to 181 of the PFM Act. Okay? And then go and also look at section 46 or 4546 of the Mother Act on urban areas and cities Act. Okay? On how to structure those accounts. Those are the two tools you have to structure in a way that COB will not ask you any question, because we have also worked on other municipalities that have complied with that requirement of the law, so that you run those independent accounts by the municipalities.
Chair, I want to note the comments made by the member, but I want to also say that the control of budget does not look at such laws. They only look at the number of counties. They say they want all counties should maintain a CBK account. They don't want anything else, even if there is a law, because even as we speak, this house, the Senate passed the FIF law, and it was a requirement to have every health facility to have an account. The controller of budget came toward behind our back and said that now you don't need a facility that does not need, yet FIF was to cure the same. So, and we have a law. So they disregarded that law, and now they are using it to prosecute this matter on the media to make the governors look like they are stealing money using such accounts. Even this one will appear again, because all the other accounts are lawful, but still appears as a very illegal and a fraudulent.
Governor, I don't mean to cut you, but on the contrary, the controller of budget comes to this committee, and she, as us, believes on the autonomous operation of the municipalities. Okay, right from functional autonomy articulated in section 20 to 25 of the Urban Cities and Urban Areas and Cities Act, to operational autonomy, to functional autonomy, to the extent that the board is the one that's supposed to do all the financial statement for the municipality, not even the management. And I believe 100% on this. I'm very confident that the COB is aligned. And it's not just by virtue of saying, it's also because we have had a number of counties appear here. Even yesterday, we had Nyamira appearing before us. We had a number of municipalities appearing before us that are running their own independent holding accounts for the running of the municipalities. So maybe you have had an individual county experience, which will be an outlier in this case, because I haven't heard about this from any other counties. But I'm telling you that you are backed by law. And it's certainly not just backed by law, it's a requirement of the law to execute on that. Yeah.
Chair, Doctor, I'm thinking, we are already discussing the independence. Why did we combine?
Yes,
so that we combine, so that we...
Actually, I want us to go to independence.
Yeah, so that we just... Because the issues are...
This one, Governor, let's just comply with the law.
Yeah.
We will deal with the control of budget when she brings issues. Because the law here requires that under, I think, Regulation 21(1)(c) of the PFM regulation requires that we have this in place. So I think that one, within a month, please, let's have that account. So let's go to lack of operational independence of the municipality. Auditor?
Lack of operational independence of the municipality, as reported in the previous year. The Iten Tabaj municipality was granted municipal charter on 28 December 2018, which was supposed to grant operational independence from the county government of Eva Malakwet. However, review of the operations of the municipality revealed that the municipality budget was prepared and controlled by the county executive, and there was no budget approval by the municipality board, with the exception of the donor-funded project accounts with the signatories from the county treasury. The municipality's expenditure was controlled by the county treasury and did not have independence independent operations account. This is contrary to Section 9(1) of the Urban Cities Act 2011, which states that the county governor may, on the resolution of the county assembly, confer the status of municipality to a town on a town that meets the criteria set out on subsection 3 by grant of a charter in the prescribed form. In addition, it contravenes Section 12(1) of the Urban Areas and Cities Act 2011, which states that the management of the city and municipality shall be vested in the county government and administered on its behalf by a board, a manager appointed pursuant to Section 28, and such other staff or officers of the county public service may determine. In the circumstances, the municipality management was in breach of law. Thank you, Chair.
Very well. Governor, your response?
Chair, for lack of operational independence, Chair, the funds allocated to Iten Tambaj Municipality for financial year 23-24 were budgeted under the executive, and we want to confirm that it was still under the executive at that time in the Department of Lands consolidated county budget. The municipality currently, Chair, we want to confirm that is now having its own board, and also we have a municipality manager who is with me today, who is just almost 2 months old. The municipality also currently has started opening its own management and operation accounts, and they are preparing a separate budget, Chair. So we are in the process to divorce it from the county, and I want to confirm that by the next time we are coming to this committee, Chair, this municipality is my personal commitment to ensure that the municipality runs independently.
So this board, when was it gazetted? The one you are referring to?
It was gazetted in December. I think I can, because they were sworn in January.
So this board is not the one affected by the next query, which is on gender balance?
Yes, Chair. This is a different board.
So this one applies to the gender balance?
Chair, if you look at it, we have on Annex 4, Chair. You will follow it up on the document number, the first document, the second document, and the fourth document. Under Annex 4, you will see a gazette notice, and you will see that we have 3 ladies and 4 men, which is actually now compliant, and it's now different from the previous board.
Okay, so you have now a board and you have the municipal manager?
Yes, Chair. All of them are substantive. This was gazetted on 5th December 2024, just late last year.
And now you have they are doing their own budgets?
Yes, they are doing their own.
So what about the account?
That is what we are now. They are opening I think even the accounts, they have the operations account. Accountant, where is the accountant?
Accountant, please.
I think currently they even have a, can you confirm they have an operation account?
Yeah, we have one at KCB.
Chair, they have an operation account at KCB as we speak.
And this board, has it been meeting?
Chair, they have met and even they have been trained, and they are only around 2 months. We actually sworn in this board in January, so they are now 2 months old and they are already doing a good job. But the municipal manager just came the other day, around 2 weeks ago.
So then they need to deal with the query issues which are here. Query issues like failure to observe safety requirement, lack of an approved integrated development plan, lack of approved staff establishment. Have they started dealing with this?
Chair, this is during the swearing-in ceremony. This was the work I gave them, and I'm expecting a report in 1 month, Chair.
So now you need to at section 179 of the PFM requires that every urban area or city shall open and maintain a a book account in the name of the urban area or city, and with the approval of the respective county executive member for finance. So it is not just the Urban Areas and Cities Act, even in the PFM.
Yes.
It's a requirement that you must have an account.
Chair, that's why I recommended that he goes and read the entire 169 to 181, because if you don't comply even with one of those, you have a problem. And in fact now, because I've realized that they have not been keen on this, and see, this is nothing personal against you, it's just that you have not been able to read the law. Go and also read your responsibility, fiduciary responsibility in terms of helping the board come up with a strategic plan, come up with the financial budgets and all that under 175. Put that down. Because next time you don't comply with them, we'll take action. So 175 is squarely on your responsibility as the head of treasury, the county treasury.
Mark?
Maybe just to add on to that is Article 183 of the Constitution, functions of the County Executive Committee member. Article 1 chair reads that a County Executive Committee shall implement county legislation, and Part B, implement within the county national legislation to the extent that the legislation so requires. So chair, even the Constitution requires that the CEC members implement any legislation that is national. That's the PFM, the FIF, and even the Urban Cities Act. Thank you, Chair.
Okay.
Chair, for purposes of time, because I'm seeing we're also running out of time.
I think this one the governor has given a
time.
commitment.
Yeah.
Maybe this matter will not recur again, because he has put in place measures. There's a board, there's a manager. They are now doing their own account, budgets, and the matter of the account will be finalized. So we will not, in the next report, if this recurs, Governor will remind you of your commitment.
Chair, I can even confirm that already we have finished with the staff establishment of the board. So these are some of the things I gave them, and I'm sure the next 1 or maximum 2 months we should be done with all the requirements that was raised by the auditor.
Okay. So, honorable members, I think now we proceed to water matters. You can now bring in water people. Yeah.
Yeah, combine the two and then look at cross-cutting issues. I'm just going to call here. I'm just going to go to my Chair, we do cross-cutting issues on water.
Yeah.
Just make a call.
on how the committee was so mad with Jacob.
So, Governor, the new officers who have joined, maybe you can put them on record.
Thank you, Chair. I will introduce the few officers who have come here. With me are the two CEOs of the two water companies and the chief officer of the department. Let me give them an opportunity to introduce themselves.
Led by the chair, I'm Koech Isaac, the chief officer for water, environment and climate change in Marrakech. Thank you.
Honorable members, my names are Paul Yator, the Managing Director of Vitain Tambaj Water and Sewerage Company Limited. Thank you.
Chair, honorable members, I'm David Kimtai, the Acting Managing Director, Cherangaj Marakwet Water.
I'm Jeremiah Kikin, Accountant, Vitain Tambaj Water.
Yeah, I think those are the new officers who have just entered.
Sent to me on WhatsApp. Very well, Karibuni. So we are handling the two water companies simultaneously. That is Tambachi Water and Sewerage Company and Cherengani Water and Sanitation Company Limited. Now, honorable members, as agreed in the pre-meeting, we will look at common queries in the two, and we will be expecting the companies to respond to the issues in turns. So the common issues here, or the key issues that are of interest to us, is the non-revenue water, which affects the two. We have the issue of property, plant and equipment, which auditor, you may not go through the query, but we will have a mention, a brief discussion around it because it affects the two. And the issue of long outstanding receivables, trade and long outstanding receivables. And the governor, we will also have a mention on the issue of the board for Tambachi Water. There is a matter of the board therein, which we will have a mention about it. So let's start with the matter of non-revenue water for the two companies. And the auditor, we will adapt your query as it is, but we just want you to give us a brief on the situation of non-revenue water for these two companies.
Thank you, Chair. The first company here is Cherengani Malakwet Water and Sanitation, which received a qualified opinion. The issue at hand is non-revenue water, and the findings, our audit findings, is that the auditee did not keep records that would enable enable them to determine the non-revenue water, as they were charging a flat rate of 300 shillings to the staff, and there were no meters. The master meters for intake, and there are no meters for consumer meters for the consumers, which means they are not able to process financial information relating to this query. I'll ask my colleague.
So in short, what you are saying is that you cannot compute the non-revenue water.
Yes. I'll ask my colleague to comment on.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair. In regards to Iten Tambach Water and Sewerage Company, the audit opinion is qualified. On non-revenue water, we noted that the company produced 726,197 cubic meters of water, out of which 497,732 cubic meters was billed to customers, and the balance of 228,465 cubic meters, which is approximately 1% of the total water produced, represented non-revenue water. In comparison, the previous year ended 30th June 2023, the proportion of non-revenue water was 32%. So there was a marginal decline of 1% in the year under review.
So, Governor, the first company, which is Tambachi Water, Tambachi Water, did not even have figures for...
That is Cherengani, yes? Cherengani Marakwet.
Yeah, Cherengani, they don't even have records of non-revenue water, which is a very important benchmark, and which tells you how much water you are generating, how much water you can sell, and how much water you cannot account for. So that's a very serious issue, Governor. The second one is that non-revenue water has only, following the last meeting we had, and the measures that you put in place, you have only gone down by 1%. So, which means the measures you put in place are not working, Governor. So what's your view about this?
Thank you, Chair. I will start with the first company, which is Cherangany Marakwet Water. Chair, it is true that the company has no records to show the volume of water produced, sold, and later determined the unaccounted water, which is the non-revenue water. This is due to the following reasons, Chair. Our majority of the schemes are in a place called Kapsawar and Kapcherop, and therefore we don't have the water meters, master meters. Number two, Chair, we don't have consumer meters also again in these two. This used to be water supplies, the village water supplies. These are small towns. These are towns which are actually growing. The water company inherited the water supplies with no meters, and it's now working on acquiring master meters for production areas, metering institutions, hotels, rental premises, car wash business, and other clients who use high volume water in order to reduce non-revenue water. This, however, being done in phases, Chair, due to financial constraints. The company has also requested our development partner, because the main partner is the county, ourselves, and also the North Rift Water Works Development Agency and other stakeholders in partnering to purchase bulky meter due to high cost of acquisition. The agency has already sourced for some funds, and the scope of work will include metering. Chair, also of the curve is that this one of the towns, which is Kapsawar, is actually in a process of having a mega project. It's a big area that is going to support us under the African Development Bank to sort out all these problems. Apart from the metering, Chair, we have done the following. The company has employed enough plumbers to patrol and repair any leakages to reduce physical losses. Secondly, is established a hotline desk with a phone number for reports of leakages and bursts. Third one is replace all distribution lines, Chair, with high quality to one new pipes with high quality to reduce the leakages. And then finally, the reduction or elimination of illegal connection by branding in both schemes to identify the customers. We will also collaborate and work closely with the Water Service Regulatory or the WASREP and other relevant agencies to ensure compliance with non-revenue benchmarks, Chair. We believe that this we shall be able to reduce this in the subsequent financial year. And Chair, on the other company, which is E10, I agree that the reduction is marginal, and we had an extensive report on this last time. So we acknowledge the observation, Chair, regarding the high level of non-revenue water on this E10 water, Tambach Water Company, and understand the importance of addressing this issue to ensure financial sustainability and operation efficiencies. To address this issue, Chair, we are proposing that we are actually doing the following: investigation of water losses. We will conduct thorough investigation to identify the root causes of the high level of non-revenue water. This investigation will include detailed assessment of water distribution system to identify the leaks and illegal connection and other potential sources of water loss. Secondly, Chair, is repair and maintenance program. We will implement a comprehensive repair and maintenance program to address the identified leaks and other issues in the water distribution system. Third, Chair, is the customer engagement and awareness. We'll engage the customers to raise awareness about the importance of water loss. And the third one is regular audits and inspection, which will be able to ensure that we do this and also have established a dedicated team to be responsible for conducting these audits. Another one, Chair, is one to collaborate with the regulatory agencies, the WASREP, to ensure that compliance of non-revenue water benchmarks and seek for guidance in the best practice. Finally, Chair, performance in monitoring and reporting. We will establish a key performance indicator KPI to monitor the effectiveness of measures implemented to reduce the non-revenue water, regulatory review and report on the progress made to achieve the target levels. By implementing these measures, we aim at significantly reducing the level of non-revenue water and improve the profitability of the company to ensure sustainability. And Chair, I think the team may not have mentioned, after the meeting that we had last time, we actually overhauled an entire line within the town, the main line, which costed us almost 18 million shillings and I think that might have been the reason why we reduced by 1%, which is still marginal. But we will make sure that we reduce this further so that we have a significant fall in the non-revenue water next time.
Very well. Governor, you remember you gave us the same promise, and you can see the figures have marginally gone down by only 1%. So what is going to change?
At a cost of 18 million.
Yeah, so what is going to change,
Chair,
with the measures that you have repeated?
I think, Chair, I will now ensure that I will reduce the number of days that I'll be giving. I will ensure that I'll monitor these people on real-time basis, because it looks like if I leave them for a longer period. But the challenge is, Chair, if you go to Iten and Tambach, the lines that we have are seriously old. That is why we have a challenge. We also have a new project that is coming in that will cover one part of my county, one part of the Tambach area, which is going to supply gravity water, and also it will have a new line which will not be relying on the old line. So, Chair, I am seeing a significant drop this time because of the new project. The only project that we had that time was to replace one of the lines, which costed us the 18 million that Mheshimiwa, our honorable member, is talking about. But the line is the distribution lines are a lot, and this dates back to around 60s or 70s. So we are suspecting that this might be the old lines which are actually disturbing us, and the best and the important solution is to replace those lines, which one of this project that is coming up, being supported by KVDA, is going to support us to ensure this is sorted out.
Mark, Chair, let me hear from the audience to step up.
Yeah, Chair, mine was just to comment on what the Governor has indicated to the committee, in that he spent 18 million to rehabilitate the lines and the percentage went down by 1. I think that indicates one thing, that the losses are not physical, they're commercial. That there is water either being stolen, not being paid for, either with collusion of your staff, they're not collecting from those they're supposed to collect from. So I think maybe the efforts then should be geared towards commercial and not so much physical. And maybe, Chair, the report that has been indicated that will be prepared should be provided for this committee, Chair, so that we have a copy of the exact measures being taken. Thank you, Chair.
Yes. Actually, from that analysis, the losses are largely commercial, because you spend 18 million to get 1%. It is clearly it's not about infrastructure; it is commercial losses, Governor.
Chair,
so, yeah.
I want to step out for a minute or 2 minutes. I just wanted to tell you, Chair, you know, very topical, and maybe my friend here, and even too, you know, these water companies, the one Gold Cherangany, Marakwet, Iten and Tambach may be fairly slightly big, but even if you check the figures, Chair, you know, these are just basically water projects that were done by the community or even the municipal councils just to supply water to the centers. You know, some of these places you are calling town, they are basically centers. You know, these are small centers, and the flood rate of 300. I'm sure when the government starts to meter them, the people might even stop using the water, because they're used to, these are community things. So let's hope with the expansions and the towns growing, and maybe institutions, maybe where the governor will be targeting to get money will be the schools around there, the hospitals. I know there is a next query that is on outstanding receivables. I don't know if the governor himself is paying for this water. Your hospitals and other including your office, and then also the national government entities, if they are paying. You know, these are the easy target where you can ensure your commercial losses are not there. And so long as you ensure there are no illegal connections, then the companies should be able to sustain themselves. Post Chair, these companies, I don't think, unless they get the support from the county government, which also the county is struggling, you know, we are a struggling county. Yeah.
Chair, allow me to say, emphasize on what Mark said. I would request that we give timelines. We give timelines on the commitment of the mitigation taken and the actual timelines on what to be done at what time, and this committee is notified. Thank you, Chair.
I think, Governor, you will share with us your plan to reduce non-revenue water. How much time do you need to share with us?
Chair, we can be able to, the plan can be shared within 14 days, Chair.
Yes. Now, Senator, in that plan, we will hold the governor accountable for the measures that he has promised to initiate.
Thank you, Chair.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So anyway, let's move to the other query. I think it's an important query, but contained in the report for Tambachi, that is trade and other receivables. Auditor?
Thank you, Chair. The trade and other receivables. The statement of financial position reflects trade and other receivables balance of 31,740,723 shillings as disclosed in note 16 to the financial statements. However, it was noted that gross trade and other receivables amounting to 34,928,265 shillings in note 16A, which were the gross receivables before the provision for bad debts, had exceeded the normal credit period of 15 days. This was contrary to section 12.4 of the 10 Tambachi Water and Sewerage Company Limited Finance Regulations and Procedures Manual of 2019, which states that the normal credit period shall be 15 days from the date of billing. In the circumstances, the coverability of the trade and other receivables totaling to 34,928,265 shillings is in doubt.
Governor, your response?
Chair, thank you. We acknowledge, Chair, the observation by the auditor on the overdue trade and other receivables, and recognize the importance of adhering to the credit period stipulated in the Financial Regulation and Procedure Manual. To address this, Chair, we have the following actions, which, number one, improved communication with customers, which will strengthen the communication channels with customers to ensure timely reminders and follow-ups on outstanding payments. And Chair, you will realize that in our last statement there is that we have automated, and we want to do automated reminders to our customers from the system. Secondly, debt recovery strategies. We will develop and implement a robust debt recovery strategy to address, which will be part of the roadmap that we are providing in 14 days. This may include engaging the debt collection agencies or taking legal action where necessary to recover the outstanding amounts. Thirdly, Chair, regular monitoring and reporting. We now have a software system that regularly monitors and reports receivables in time. We can check reports on daily basis as not like before. That will enable transparency and accountability regarding the status of the receivables. Chair, we will also use the system to send automatic reminders to customers about upcoming or overdue payments. By continuous implementation of these measures, we aim to improve our receivables management and ensure compliance with the credit period specified in our finance and finance regulation and procedure manuals. Also, forming part of the challenge here is government bills. That's both county and national institutions which have not settled their bills, and therefore this is making us have some challenges on this. And as per the annex number 4, which shows some of the challenges that we have with government buildings not paying, or government premises not paying the bills. Thank you, Chair.
Auditor, the comments on the response?
Thank you, Chair. We had hoped that management should clarify whether, according to them, the debts are performing or impaired, so whether we expect them to be recovered or not. And then again, the mitigation measures that management proposes to put in place, this will be measures implemented in the future, so we can only assess whether they are working or not prospectively. In the future, we can only report whether the measures put in place are effective or not, probably in our next audit cycle.
Okay, Governor, what the auditor is saying is that the measures that you have indicated do not indicate whether the debts are performing or not.
Chair, let me give my my CEO to tell us which one of these is performing and which one is non-performing. However, Chair, we have said even those ones which are not performing, we want to also in our roadmap to have it to take legal action against those ones. However, sometimes when it's government, it becomes more complicated.
Yeah, and then again, as you answer that, tell us how much you yourself owe the water company.
Thank you, Chair. Part of
Maybe
this.
Start with that one. How much do you owe the water company? When I say you, I mean the county and the county entities, including the hospitals. Hospitals now have money under FIF.
Chair, myself, I think my main institutions, which may be the county referral, the only big institution from us at the county level which is owing more money is actually the referral hospital. So I think the county referral is actually does have a bill. It's usually our biggest consumer, and they have paid. We only have a challenge with me. I think my office is only around 20,000 that I think I'm going to sort it out, and it's not even as old. But and also my slaughterhouse is because of the number, the water that is required vis-a-vis the amount of money they get. Otherwise, the rest is actually the National Police Service, which is our main stubborn person who is not paying us on time. It's in millions actually. Those are the institutions that are having challenges. The rest are actually small figures that I think my team, if we put in the roadmap, they can be able to recover. But the main people who are not paying are actually the national government institutions, police service, the forest, those teams.
So you can answer the second part of the question, what the auditor raised, and then Senator Mudama and the other senators will follow.
Thank you, Chair. On the part of performing debts, around 40% of the deaths are not performing, but 60% of the deaths are performing. Thank you, Chair.
So what measures have you put in place? One tangible measures to recover this money?
Chair, we have, Honorable Chair, we have done a scrutiny of these debts, and then we have highlighted debts that can easily be recovered within a short time. We have put measures in place for short and long-term debt recovery strategies, Chair.
Is there any evidence on that? Have you sent out demand letters?
Yes, Chair.
Disconnected water?
Yes, Chair.
Is there any evidence in your file?
Yes, Chair.
Which annex?
Annex 4.
Annex 4.1, Chair. You will unfortunately.
4.1 and 4.2.
I don't have an Annex 4. Look, I don't have an Annex 4.
Chair, I think what they have done is to ensure that we have a agreement form among the consumers. If you see Annex 4 and 4.1, you will see that there is an agreement form that they want to use it to recover this money. And you can see at the bottom end, the client will say, I agree by consent that if I default to pay as stated, the service provider will disconnect my connection to take legal action against me according to the relevant actions of Water Act 2016. So this will be the beginning, Chair, of ensuring that those ones who are not paying, we have at least a legal way to have them taken to task legally.
Yeah, but this is for the current and the future. We are talking about the past debts. How are they going to be recovered? The agreement form is for the new arrangement. What about the old debts? How are you going to recover? I can't see.
Yeah, I think they have not attached. They are confirming to me that they have already sent out demand letters, and maybe if you can be allowed, we can attach in the report on the roadmap that we are going to table in 14 days, Chair. The report that we are bringing in on the roadmap, we can attach the action that has already been done in terms of the demand letters and all the information that is required to show that we are.
So all that you bring in 7 days.
Chair.
Right, Chair.
Sorry, Chair. Just to ride on what Governor has responded. What then happens if the demand letter is not honored? You could give me a demand letter, then I don't even respond to it. What are you going to do about it?
Honorable Chair, we usually disconnect your water immediately when you disown that date that you signed for.
So you already sent out demand letters, which they have not responded.
Yes, Chair.
Then disconnect the water.
Yes, Chair, I will.
Kata maji.
And then they will say Governor is not providing us with water to Tapchana 2027. Then Governor will call him to reconnect.
Governor should pay the 20,000. Otherwise, disconnect water to his office.
Chair, on a lighter note, being a governor is not an easy job, Chair. If I was to disconnect the police, they will also remove all the police guarding the government premises. The same thing they will do. Everyone has an action reaction. So sometimes if I disconnect the slaughterhouse, the meat will be dirty, and then my people again. And then of course if you disconnect other people, they will threaten you to throw you out in 2027. So it's a very complicated thing, but we will find solutions, Chair, to ensure that
Thank you, Chair. Listening to the Governor, I think he's done well because the government entities have paid. And having listened to the host senator on the catchment areas of this company, I would agree with the auditor that the recoverability of this money is in doubt. Does the two companies have a bad debt policy on how to handle this issue?
Chair, I think that is being small companies. The big boys might have known that, but I think I'm learning a lot from this committee, and I want to task my two companies to ensure that the bad debt policy is actually implemented, is actually formulated by the two boards and implemented. Luckily, even the new Chairman Rangani Marakwet as a new board now, more competent. Therefore, it will mean that after that, we can actually see some of the bad debts and then we can write them off so that they are not in our books every year.
Okay. So, Governor, there are other two, there is an issue which I want you to comment on. Because of time, we will not go into the procedure of reading through the query. There is a query on unsupported ordinary share capital of the company and a related query on the board of directors, which is not properly constituted on the gender rule. So I would like you to respond to that, considering that the issue of share capital came up in the last session we had with you.
Chair. Sorry. Chair, we acknowledge the observation. Yes, Chair, we acknowledge that observation regarding the lack of documentation for the share capital of the company to address this issue and ensure compliance for relevant regulations. And Chair, we already provided the share certificate attached with us, which shows the number of shares, and also Chair, this will confirm actually the ownership. That one will mean that the share certificate ordinary is 5,000 shares. Under Tambai Town Council that time, which is now the county government of Elgeyo Marakwet County. If you can see that in annex number 2, Chair, 2.1 and 2.2 also on the share register. Both of them are actually confirming. We had not supported.
Auditor, can you confirm that this is an issue of late submission of documents?
Yes, Chair. We confirm that these were provided after the audit.
Governor, your officers are letting you down. Why
Chair,
were they not able to provide this
Chair,
simple document?
I can easily see that it is some bit of recklessness on my officers, and I will take very stern action on this. Yes,
Yeah,
Chair.
but you note that we had said that next time they come and such issues arise, we will apply section 62 of the Public Audit Act, which we can either arrest them for 3 years or ask a fine of 5 million or implement both, a fine and arrest of 3 years.
Chair, is the reason I brought all of them here so that they can listen for themselves, Chair.
These are simple things that should not appear here as queries. What about on the board composition?
Sorry. Chair, we had a challenge on the board composition on the gender issue. Chair, and as soon as this board, I will do the same thing that I did for the municipality, so that we can be able to ensure that in the subsequent board appointment for the next board, which I think this board is almost expiring. If this one expires, I will do justice, just like what I did for the municipality, so that we ensure that we have gender equity among the members of the board, Chair.
Yes, Senator Mbogo.
Yes, on the gender equity, Governor, maybe you are doing well, but there is no evidence that you are complying with the 5% employment of PWDs. I think you are doing badly, and you cannot tell me that you cannot find some PWDs in your county.
Chair, I will take that to, I appeared before the NCIC committee, and we provided a roadmap. Chair, I want to confirm to Honorable Member that we will subsequent recruitments will ensure that PWD actually is part and parcel of this, and I will ensure that the board, the public service board, both for the county and also for the municipal board, and also for the water companies, are all complying to the PWD to ensure that they are also part of us.
Okay. Yes, Mark.
Chair, maybe on the question of ownership and the share certificates, the ones provided indicates the owner to be 10 town council.
Yeah.
We are aware that under the WSP, the Water Act requires that the county owns all the water companies. So maybe we can have an explanation as to whether the county owns or totally the water companies, both, Chair.
Yeah, actually that is an issue because, Governor, you remember when you were last year, we asked you to take control of the water company and ensure full ownership of the water company by the county government. Maybe you need to tell us what
Chair,
happened.
we have already done that. The only challenge, Chair, is the share certificate has not been updated. Actually, we have done the process of changing everything to the county government. And I want to give a commitment that probably in the next sitting or even before, we can be able to provide, to follow up and ensure that we get that share certificate.
Chair, they can also provide the CR12 for the committee's perusal.
So we want you to provide us with the CR12 share certificate, updated share certificate, and related documents. How much time do you need?
Yeah, for that you can give me up to the end of the financial year.
End of financial year is ending in June.
June 30th.
30th June.
Yes, Chair.
So that's about
3 months.
2.5 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Lastly, the report for Cherangani Water. There is a query on variances between financial statement and supporting schedules. There are two parts to it. There is an issue of competence, which we would like to address, and also there is an issue of adjustments that needs to be done. So, Auditor, I want you to just highlight this, give highlights on this, and then I will ask the members to weigh in.
The total variance amounts to Kenya shillings 4,938,325, and where we have variances, there is these variances between the support schedules and financial statements. The root cause of this is either the issue of capacity or inability to, or the issue of the system. So we have manual transfer of records of data into the financial statements. That is the major cause. And then we also have the way to deal with it is you do a restatement of the balances in line with IAS 8 for you to correct this. So unless we have a reconciliation of the same, and once we have a reconciliation, we get the errors and then they be corrected. So it's an issue of both the capacity, and it can also be an issue of the ERP system, whereby they don't have a system to process these financial statements. Thank you.
So you have the statements there? Do you have the statements?
Yes. The certificate, yes. The balances.
No, the financial statements.
Yes.
Who signed those financial statements?
The head of finance is CPR Droki Pragat. ISPAC number 10788.
Is he here?
Chair is not here, and Andrew was actually. This is a very small company, Chair. You can imagine they are only paying 300 shillings. It was a community programs, and we are trying to make it look good. And Chair, we seconded an accountant to support them. That is Andrew, is not here today, However, Chair, I will confirm what the auditor is saying, that it's more of capacity issues in this small company, and I'm going to work on it to ensure that they have a good system. At the same time, they have a competent team within the even if it's going to be supported from the county. Meanwhile, we can be able to second an officer to permanently stay in the company as the company sets up their structures, Chair.
So did you read out the ISPAC number?
Yes, I've read the number.
You read out. Can someone check the standing? So the standing is not in good standing. Kiplagat Andrew is not in good standing with ISPAC.
Chair, can also the law be read so that when he picks somebody, he understands why he should pick somebody with a good standing with the ISPAC?
Yes, I think it's important. Legal officer, can you read out the specific provision in law regarding the processing and the signing of financial statements by accountants? Yeah, almost.
Through you, Chair, there is at section 149 on the responsibilities of accounting officers designated for county governments. That is subsection 2 and paragraph B, whereby the accounting officer is required to ensure that the account entity keeps financial and accounting records that comply with the PFM. And then through you, Chair, there are the standards that the accounting officer is supposed to adhere to, and that is under section 163 on preparation of annual financial statement, where under subsection 1, at the end of each financial year, the county treasury shall for the county government consolidate an annual financial statement in respect of all the county government entities in the formats to be prescribed by the Accounting Standards Board. And the same requirement is under section 164 of the same PFM on the annual reporting by accounting officers, where at the end of each financial year, that is under subsection 1, the accounting officer for county government is supposed to prepare a financial statement in respect for the entity in the formats that are prescribed by the Accounting Standards Board. And the Accounting Standards Board is established under the part 6 of the same PFM, and among its functions, and section 199 is that it is supposed to provide frameworks and set generally accepted standards for the development and the management of accounting and financial systems by all state organs and public entities, and shall in particular perform among the functions are to set generally accepted accounting and financial standards, and also to prescribe the minimum standards of maintenance of proper books of account for all levels of government, and also prescribe the formats for financial statement reporting by state organs. Thank you, Chair. The other one maybe is the accountants as that requires that for you to practice under section 18, you have to be registered and also have a practicing license for that financial year. Through you, Chair.
Yeah, so I hope the accountants you've heard that, because we are going to be extremely strict on the matter of competence, because the law requires that the financial statements for entities must be prepared by qualified accountants and signed by qualified accountants. But we are seeing a scenario where some entities, you find an accountant who is not qualified prepares the financial statements and then now asks a qualified accountant to sign. And this qualified accountant does not take time to review. He signs as it is. Both of you will be liable. And we shall advise the ISPAC, your professional body, to take action against you. Because we cannot continue having inaccuracies and variances which are competence related in the audit reports. And yet we have Public Sector Accounting Standards Board that gives regulations on how the financial statements should look like or should contain. So that one, I just thought that it's important for us to highlight. But besides that, all these variances must be rectified in the subsequent financial statements. That is 2024, 2025 financial statement. We want to see the adjustment, and we'll have a review of this in the next engagement when we'll be looking at 2024, 2025 financial year. So, honorable members, we are running out of time. We have the next county which is supposed to appear before us. Governor will allow you just to make final comments. Again.
Is there there's a clarification which on an issue which came up, and yes. I think this committee did not make a clarification on the visit to the county, so that the committee can come up or can interrogate the issue of the effect of the EDA on this county.
We will plan for we are going to have a comprehensive